we are going to try to do another cooking video because if you've been on my channel for a little while, you know that my last video did not go so well. Today we're making coconut fried tofu. Growing up, coconut shrimp was one of my favorite things to have, but if you don't want to eat animals or you want to lessen your impact on the fishing industry, then this is a great alternative. So the first thing we're going to do is make the batter. And for the batter, I have all my ingredients all right here. We need flour, cornstarch, baking powder, and a little bit of water, and we're gonna whisk it, and then we're gonna refrigerate. So this takes a little bit of preparation, and the recipe is gonna be linked below. Typically, I would also make a marinade comprised of soy sauce, coconut sugar, or brown sugar, and then you would add some fresh ginger and some lime juice, and then you would put your tofu after you've pressed it. You gotta put your tofu in the marinade for like 2 hours in the fridge. The store that I get most of my ingredients at is this little bodega down the street, and they do carry things like tofu, but they didn't have plain extra firm tofu, which is what you need. Instead, they had these random tofu cutlets that are already marinated in sort of a teriyaki thing, and they're ready to eat. So, assuming that you don't get a tofu cutlet that's already pre-marinated, it would behoove you to make the marinade and just wait a couple hours. But I promise you, it is so entirely worth it because it is so delicious, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. The recipe below says whole wheat flour. I find that just regular, old, all-purpose flour does the trick just fine. So 2 tablespoons of this. Now we need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I have this old ass cornstarch container. There's like half a tablespoon left in there. Great! Love that for me. Now we need a 1/4 of a teaspoon or a 1/4 teaspoon. It's kind of annoying when people say like 1/4 cup when it's just a 1/4 cup, but I'm not hating, but 1/4 cup, 1/4 tablespoon is just more pleasant sounding than a 1/4 teaspoon. So we need our 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Boop. So we have all these dry ingredients. Now we need a wet ingredient. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of cold water. I'm just gonna stir this up. This is what we have so far. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it should be kind of liquidy, kind of like pancake batter. It's gonna thicken up a little bit in the fridge, and while this is chilling, I'm gonna start making the sushi rice. The sushi rice. With the sushi rice, you just want to cook it according to the package directions. So our next step is going to be combining a 1/2 cup of panko crumbs and a 3/4 of a cup of shredded coconut. We're gonna mix these together. My rice is boiling, hold on. Pause. Basically, we're gonna set up a little station where we're gonna take the tofu, we're gonna dip it in the batter, we're gonna roll it around in here, and then we're gonna plop it in the oil. So I'm gonna set up this little station over by my stove. Should we make the sauce? We're gonna make the sauce. I'm missing a key ingredient for the sauce, but we're basically gonna do coconut cream. We need 1/2 cup of the solid cream. Typically you would want to add a couple teaspoons of pineapple juice if you want it kind of sweet and summery. I do not have pineapple juice, and I didn't want to go to the store just to get pineapple juice, but we're gonna do like a coconut lime kind of thing. So I've got coconut, I've got our lime juice, and let's do like a chili, like a Thai chili kind of thing. I have this like roasted red chili paste. If you don't want to make your own sauce, it tastes amazing with sweet and sour sauce. So if you don't want to make like a whole sauce thing, just use sweet and sour sauce. Coconut milk, when it's been refrigerated, becomes solidified. So that's exactly the consistency that we need. And then you can put your sauce into a blender. I'm just gonna mix it by hand. And another great trick for when you're in the kitchen dealing with a lot of bowls and mixing things and items like that, it's really, really helpful to wash plates as you go along, and it's really helpful to put away things when you're done using them. And if you have something like coconut milk left over, or if you choose to do the sauce with the pineapple juice and you have a bunch left over, these are really good ingredients to make a smoothie for like breakfast time. So just another like alternative way to use ingredients that you maybe don't use all the time, but you can incorporate into other recipes as well. It looks kind of like whipped cream. It probably smells amazing, like coconut key lime or something. But then we're gonna also add into this a little bit of this roasted red pepper chili paste, maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon. Because this stuff is spicy as hell, and I'm not the biggest spicy food person. But it adds a nice kick, I'm not gonna lie. We've created this very sort of thick dipping sauce that we can either dip in or drizzle over our salad, use as a dressing. If you're using coconut cream or coconut milk, it will be just a little bit on the thick side, but that's okay, because we love it when it's thick. We're gonna set this aside. Also, we have so many tomatoes. My fiance is like the gazpacho king, so he's been making a lot of gazpacho. We're not even gonna touch those, but they are beautiful, I must say. I like tomatoes, just not with my scrambled eggs. Going back to the sushi rice that we're making, sushi rice is great. First of all, you need to use sushi rice. Like if you want to make sushi rice, you got to actually use the package that says sushi rice because it sticks together. What I like to put into my sushi rice is a little bit of rice vinegar and a little bit of lemon juice. I ran out of lemon juice, so I'm going to use the rest of the lime juice that I used for the sauce. You can add cilantro to it also, because we all know that I'm a hoe for cilantro. I just kind of eyeball it, which I know is not very helpful at all. Rice vinegar, like a couple tablespoons, and then taste it to see if it's like a good sort of flavor for you. This is what our sushi rice looks like now. It's nice and fluffy. So let's pretend that 2 hours have gone by. Let's pretend that our tofu has been pressed and marinated for 2 hours and chilled. And let's pretend that I didn't find pre-packaged, pre-marinated tofu in the exact marinade that I was looking for. We need to cut the tofu into bite-sized pieces. I'm talking to you now, you, the viewer, you right there with your cute face. I don't know what your cooking experience is, but I think at this point on this channel we are comfortable enough to say that if I can do this, you can definitely 100% do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fork this, we're gonna roll it around in the batter, we're gonna roll it around in the mix, and then we're gonna stick it in the pot, or stick it in the pan that already has a 1/4 cup worth of vegetable oil on it. Once they're done cooking, a couple minutes on each side, like you're gonna see me keep flipping them until every single side is golden brown, and then we're gonna put them over here onto the plate. Okay. So just so you can see kind of a close-up before my hands get super covered in batter, we're gonna, oh, this is so hard to do one-handed, and time is of the essence. I've already got one in the pan. So we take it, we cover it, we get the excess batter off, we roll it around, and then we put it in the thing, which you don't need to, I need to put the camera down. So after a couple minutes, you're gonna wanna check on them. Already, that's a beautiful color. And you're just gonna wanna like turn each one over. Halfway through, you might need to change the oil because the coconut shreds burn super, super easily. So I'm gonna do the rest and then we'll come back because this kind of requires my full attention. All right, we have our beautiful golden brown, crispy, crunchy, coconutty little tofu bites. The last thing to do is to assemble the bowl. I personally am gonna have it on top of the sushi rice because the sushi rice is gonna have a lot of good flavors. It's gonna complement that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the tofu on top of the rice, maybe put a little bit of green things on top of it. Cucumbers are an excellent choice. If you have cucumbers, sesame seeds, carrots, but like peppers, like whatever produce you have. I've got some leftover nori sheets from when I did sushi, so I'm going to just like tear one of those up and put it along the edges. I'll come back to you with the final product, and if you want me to do a video on how to make sushi, I am happy to do that as well. Let's assemble this bowl, drizzle some of the sauce on top. It's gonna look excellent. I am ravenous. Cheers. Oh. This, my friends, this is it. If you liked this video, please give it a like. Or at least just give it a like because this turned out way better than my lentil video. And hopefully this inspires you to make something a little out of the ordinary. That takes maybe a little bit more effort, but is so worth it, I am telling you. Alright, have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Happy cooking, man.